But to open your mouth and tell Mikel Arteta to be humble when you guys just got lucky, you should be humble because you almost lost to a 10-man team in your house. You be humble.
Under floodlights and the fans align, in red and white they always shine. With every pass it feels divine. Arsenal's on my mind. From hybrid days to Emirates grand, each match a symphony perfectly planned. With every goal we take our stand. Arsenal's on my mind.
Welcome back to another episode of Arsenal on My Mind. As usual, it's Spike along with Mr. Seki J. How we doing, guys? How we feeling today? 2-2. Man, I don't know, man. But before we get into that anyway, just wanted to, thank all our viewers, all our subscribers. We really appreciate it. We're trying to grow the channel. So please like, subscribe, share, all that, turn on notifications, and get these videos brought right into your feed. That being said,
and shout out to our Liverpool supporter who subscribed.
Absolutely. We appreciate everybody that subscribes to our channel. But yeah, how you feeling, Seki?
Mixed emotions.
Mixed emotions?
Mixed emotions, I still think that we could have for us to, don't get me wrong, the boys played, I'll start with this. The boys played very well.
Mm-hmm.
They made me very proud.
Okay.
But we still did not cross that line. We still did not crack that ceiling.
What ceiling did we not crack?
We had the game. It was 1 minute.
I don't know if we had the game.
1 minute left.
Okay.
1 minute left.
1 minute left. No, it was 1 minute over, actually. But
whatever, we needed to defend
that last sequence. I get that. But I'll tell you what. Mm-hmm. Tables turned. Man City loses that game.
Well, yes. Let's put it this way.
Yes.
Man City, the hungry Man City of Aguero that was chasing their first title in a long time,
right,
will win that game. Against
a rival? No.
10-man.
No, I disagree.
You see, all I'm saying is, psychologically, we made progress.
Okay.
But it would have been a better progress if we had won that game.
Okay.
Of course. Because look at
win is always better than a draw, no matter when it happens.
And so many factors. Don't get me wrong, the boys are going to walk away with a lot of confidence, even though they'll be disappointed. But look at it this way. The psychological effect it would have had on the team that we went to Etihad, Man City's home.
Yep.
The rivals that we're trying to take down. We went 1 man down. We're 10 men by halftime, and we left Etihad with a win.
Of course.
You see, that alone would send shivers.
Of course,
in the spine of other Premier League teams.
I won't downplay.
They'll be like, what? Arsenal beats Man City in Man City's home with 10 men?
Yep.
Whoa.
Yes, no.
So it's different.
I won't downplay it.
Now, if you're still watching the context of the game, right, it was still a fantastic point, because we went there, we got, I won't say cheated, but we
got hosed.
No, we gave ourselves. Make a break them down. I go break them down now.
Break them.
If the person won't burn you, you can't carry food and go pour for your body. That's what Arsenal.
Okay.
Our players need to understand something.
Okay.
The stakes are so high. Do you understand?
Right.
We have to remain emotionally balanced.
Fair.
Because it's a long season.
Yeah.
And now they're already seeing that, it seems like Arsenal, the fan base and the club and the players are getting edgy about the refereeing. Other teams are going to play on that.
Play on it how?
Well,
they're going to get on that. Our two red cards have not been because our players are being disrespectful or being rough or being or nothing. It's all from, hold on. It's all about the idea that, oh, they kicked the ball away to time waste. And you know what? I've listened to all the news outlets about this, right? And they all say the same thing. It's the law. Sure, it's the law. But how many other players in the Premier League have been sent off for this very thing this season? Take a guess. Right? None. Right?
Just
and
the
then
Arsenal players.
Just the 2 Arsenal players. And in the very same 2 games, the opponent did the exact same thing and didn't get a card. Doku kicked the ball away, didn't get a card. Trossard gets a card. At the end of the half, when literally it was already a minute after extra added time. What was he wasting time of? Time of what, ref? The half is over at that point. Right? That's one. And the thing is, I don't even believe the PMGOL on this thing because when they gave the card to Trossard, the VAR gave an explanation to the commentary team saying that it was a barge that caused the yellow card. Then at the end of the game, as in that's Trossard barging into Bernardo, at the end of the game, they came out with the referee report then says, no, because kick the ball away. That is absolute BS.
And I get all
it's
that.
It's BS. But to your point, I don't think, yes, of course, a win would have sent more shockwaves through.
Absolutely.
Everybody, right? Absolutely. But I don't think...
A win would have scared Real Madrid.
But I would argue the draw still sends shockwaves
through. No,
it
does, but it's not the same.
It's not the same, but it's still a shockwave nonetheless.
It is a shockwave, but it's not the same frequency, right? It's not the same. The magnitude is not that.
Of course, I get that. Big, a win would have been better. Here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
I think, and this is one of my biggest things about life in general, right? The manner of things matters. That's my mantra about them. Right? The way it happens matters. Had it been 1-1, right? When we got a red card, and then the game ended 1-1.
It's different.
It's different than the fact that we were 2-1 up.
Yeah, and they scored at the last minute.
Yes.
From a ricochet.
Exactly. So
and
my point is...
the auxiliary striker.
Yeah. So to me,
I get all that.
Yeah.
But that still tells you the technical brilliance of Pep. But this is...
Dude, I'm sorry,
he brings in an auxiliary striker.
It's a body. It's a human body.
That's the point.
His finish wasn't a striker. It was a body.
But it's the body that he brought in that scored.
Listen, man.
You see what
all I can say is, you can say what you want to say about, like, the City fans can say, Man City is superior and, we pushed to the end. But have you ever seen a half of football where Man City looked so toothless? No. They actually looked more threatening when it was 11v11.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and actually, because I was having a chat with a coach recently, yesterday actually, and he said something. He said he has never seen a team rattle Man City like that.
Yes.
Ever since Pep took over Man City. He has never seen them that scared.
Yes.
And they were celebrating a draw
like it was a win.
Like they had won their 50th
the same thing
trophy.
You would get crucified if we did it at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Celebrating
I remember when we were celebrating last season, the older guy with the camera, they were like, So I get all that. The point I'm trying to make, I'm trying to come from a different angle.
Okay.
Right? We cannot control what those referees do.
Sure.
You see? But we can control what our players do.
Okay. So
that when it comes to Arsenal, there's so many evidences out there to prove that this point. When it comes to Arsenal, for some reason, it's either and I don't want to jump on the bandwagon that there's a conspiracy against Arsenal. I just think that when it comes to Arsenal, the referees and the officials, there's an extra pressure on them, Then they try to get cute, and try to pull up some sort of decision out of their hats, and they go make mistakes. That's one. Two, I also think that Arsenal, and because of that, Arsenal is reffed differently.
Was that fair?
It's not fair.
Okay.
But we cannot control that.
Well, we should be able to.
How?
Okay, so
you can't control.
What's the ref's name? Michael Oliver? right?
Yeah, this was Michael Oliver, but the other time was Kavanaugh.
So hold on, no.
Tomorrow it could be
Here's a stat that's going to blow your mind.
Or it could be Mike Dean or whatever.
Here's a stat that's going to blow your mind.
Yeah.
Michael Oliver has sent off the most Arsenal players in his career than any other ref.
No, I know that he was the one that gave Martinelli those 2 quick.
So my thing is, when you're picking a ref for this game, and you're looking at, this graph is so skewed. This one guy seems to. I mean, I know they won't allow themselves to look that closely at it because then you can get into who's a fan of what when they were a kid or whatever. But sending off, the thing is, and I heard it so many different ways over all the news outlets out there, right? A key thing is the referees in English football, they've been put under a lot of pressure. Year after year.
They're terrible.
They always get terrible. They get people complain, right?
And they're getting worse.
They're getting worse because the pressure now is for them to be robotic. That's the only way you can avoid being skated by the fans. If you're like, you know what? That's the law, gotta do it. That's the law, gotta do it. But they're forgetting one fundamental thing. Football is supposed to be entertainment first, before anything else. So if you think this game is going to be a better or worse game by this silly thing, I mean, it's so silly. I don't even talk about it anymore. That card was so silly, but so ridiculous. It's worse than the Rice one. It's worse.
But it's not the ref's job
to do what?
To keep the game entertaining.
Actually, it is. No. Because he allowed so many things in that first half.
He did.
So many barges.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
He there's no consistency.
Exactly.
Right? But when it comes down to it, the ref will tell you, it's not my job. It's not my job to keep the game flowing. It's my job to enforce the law.
It's your job to use discretion.
Well,
that's why we don't have a VAR as a referee. We have humans involved.
Well,
discretion.
Discretion is also my choice to want to apply it or not, right? I chose not to use my discretion on that one. I chose to go by the law. What can we do? So that's why I said, let's focus on our players. We have more control over that.
Okay.
Arteta, call a team meeting and tell your boys, look, we get all the grievances. We get all that. But you see, if you can afford it, if you can avoid it, avoid it. Now, Trossard's to his defense, he came in. The next day when he came into the locker room, he explained to the team that he did not actually hear the whistle.
How could he?
Because it was loud and all that.
Forget about loudness. It's in the motion of the.
I get all that.
We're talking about split seconds
here. But hey, I don't want to come here every week crying about a ref.
Okay, so
we're trying to win the league.
All right, tell me, how do you rate our players in this game?
Well, the ratings. I mean, I will start with. Raya.
Okay.
Right?
Well, I'll tell you what.
Well, actually, do you want to give your ratings first?
Well, I'll give mine because I think my ratings are pretty standard, very similar to yours, I believe, right? But here's the thing, right? I just personally think that defense. I think I literally after the game, what did I text you? Dogged.
No, yeah.
Dogged. So if you rate any of our defenders below an 8, you're tripping. You're just tripping because that was dogged.
Yeah.
Right? So I give him 8s all across the back line.
That's fair.
And the thing is, Calafiori, if he doesn't score, maybe I give him a 7 or a 6.
Yeah,
because that first goal was partly his fault. And this is the thing about, and not to go too deep into tactics, right? With Mikel, I get why you started Calafiori over White, technically, right? Because he moved Timber to the other side. Because his size, I get it. And it's time for him to play.
That dude is a stallion.
Right? So I get it. My thing is, the only reason Haaland, and I'll get to him later, scores that first goal is because Gabriel feels the need to support Calafiori in that theme of play. Because it's the first time playing with him.
Yeah,
so he sees Savio do that.
He doesn't know.
He has no belief that Calafiori can make it up. If that was still Timber, dare I even say if it was even Zinchenko, Gabriel stays closer to Saliba, and that gap isn't there for Haaland.
That's just basically because they are just playing together.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so it's not risk.
It's not a knock on Calafiori.
No.
It's not a knock on Gabriel. It's just
which is why they all get
chemistry.
8s. They all get 8s. The midfield, Partey and Rice, 7, because they did the job. Didn't do anything wrong. They didn't do anything great either. They just did the job they were supposed to do. Trossard, I give him a 6 because that red card, I give him a 6 because he wasn't in the game enough when we were 11v11. But ultimately, that red card doesn't drop his rating, in my opinion, at all. Because that was completely unfair.
Yeah.
I give Martinelli an 8 only because he ran and worked his socks off.
He worked.
In fact, I was shocked when Mikel took off Saka instead of Martinelli.
Yeah, because
Martinelli was working. Because Martinelli was working and he worked.
Yeah.
You know, Havertz almost gave him a 6, but he also worked hard. So 7. Yeah. Saka, 7. Yeah. I mean, to me, Arteta, tactically, a 10 again to me. That's back-to-back with a 10. Because here's what this Arsenal team is showing nowadays. We're showing that when we're not firing on all cylinders, we can suffocate you. Okay, so everyone will talk about, the beginning of the game, how City dominated the first 15 minutes of the game, and they scored their goal, right? I'm like, okay, that's fine. I think we were took us a while to settle into the game. They were home. They took us they grabbed us by the scruff of the neck, right? They were ready to kill us, and they scored. But dude, we didn't get enough credit for retaliating against City.
We handled the pressure. We kind of balanced things out. They came back.
Now, here's what will be the weirdest thing I'll say today. Craziest outland thing is, if the game goes 11v11, I think we lose. I mean, even though we're up 2-1, I think the chance of losing with 11v11 was higher than
because the boys won't dig that deep.
They don't have to dig deep. And City, second half, unless that first half we want to extend for another 20 minutes, we win, right? But it ended right where it ended because we scored late in the first half, right? If we had scored that goal in the second half, we go on to win. But that break in between, Pep would have found a way to turn it around, and they'd have probably still won or scored more goals anyway.
But why didn't you find a way to turn it around?
Because, so I saw Roy Keane on, I think, Sky Sports, right? And he kept saying, City was so poor. They were so poor. I'm like, no. We made them poor. Yeah, they had no ideas.
Of course, because Roy Keane doesn't want to give us our credit.
Why would he? Doesn't give everybody credit. But what's your ratings?
Well, who's your man of the match?
Oh, Gabriel.
Of course.
Only because I had the same rating as 8, sure, but he's a warrior. Yeah. A warrior.
Absolutely.
Even that goal, he hit it with the back of his hand. He doesn't care. He was going to jump.
Did you see before the goal, what's his name? Kyle Walker was poking him.
Poking him.
He didn't even respond. He just paid attention, stayed focused, and just Kyle Walker did not even know when he lost Gabriel. Oh man, Gabriel just went.
That is he in the past 2 games. I'm going to say it. He is also world class. A different defender from Saliba.
So do you see that? You see that the purchase of Calafiori actually does something to 2 players, to 2 positions. It puts pressure on 2 positions.
Oh yeah, with the center back and left back. And I mean, I hate to say this, I think White is gonna lose a spot in the team.
Well, I mean,
maybe he needs to go on for England again. Maybe that'll help.
No. Look, we're trying to win the league.
Yep.
We can be brutal.
Yeah, no. I'm okay with
look at being. We all cried for the Ramsdale.
Yep.
Now, do we miss Ramsdale?
No, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with White being a backup.
Exactly.
Particularly since some of the Africans stay healthy. Well, what you got?
My ratings: Raya 7, Timber 7, Saliba Gabriel 8. Kala 8, Calafiori 8, Partey 7, Rice 7, and the reason why I gave Partey 7 partly was because he broke Rodri
without even trying to break Rodri
for the season.
I mean, sorry Rodri, but not sorry.
Not sorry. They were celebrating Timber last season.
Yep, that's true.
Trossard, I gave him a 5, and I'll tell you why. He played well and all that. I'm being consistent. I critique him partly for getting that red card.
Fair enough.
And I also critique him partly for costing us 2 points.
Why did he cost us the 2 points?
As far as I'm concerned, I'm not of that school of thought that if we stayed 11 and we're up 2-1, we'll win that game.
Okay, I think it's
we'll win that game.
Yeah,
you know. So I gave him a 5.
Okay.
Bukayo Saka 7. Martinelli 8. He worked.
He worked hard.
He worked. Havertz 7. And honestly, nobody really deserved lower than 7.
True.
You know, but I made my reasons and my points for why I gave that Trossard that. 9 for the gaffer because we did not win the game.
Okay. Wasn't his fault, but okay.
Well, yeah. If we won the game, it would be a 10. So 9 for him. My man of the match was Calafiori.
Dude.
And I'll tell you why.
That goal. The technique. The
commentators did not even want to give him his credit. They were like,
he looks surprised or something.
Yeah. Haters. Bunch of haters. They just love to hate Arsenal.
Do you know how you know that's how much technique goes to that? How you know is that typically when the ball
crosses the ball, did you see his back stroke?
Exactly, because ideally you hit that with your right foot if you're just trying to shoot.
Yeah.
But he's a lefty.
He's a lefty.
And he adjusted himself to make that left foot connect.
Yep.
Oh, come on.
Turkish on AFTV was saying that was like that was a Messi-like finish. And I agree.
That technique
I've seen Messi. Yeah, I've seen Messi finish like that.
Beautiful.
And that also why Calafiori was my man of the match. His first start for his new club against the best team in the world in their home. And this dude, it was like Man City didn't even know what to do with him.
Yeah.
He was everywhere. His confidence, he looked supreme.
He's a baller.
He's a baller. I mean, he can handle the ball.
He loves going forward.
He loves going forward.
He loves it.
I mean, when I saw him, when he was celebrating and Arteta was holding him and he was pointing, I'm like, this guy is like a soccer god or something.
He's a giant.
The way he just looked, and everything.
No.
I'm really pleased by that.
I could have easily given him the man of the match as well.
Yeah, he was the man of the match.
But I think it was a toss-up between him and Gabriel. They both scored goals.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I don't care what anybody says, right, about how Arsenal defended and played quote-unquote negative football. I'm like, it ain't easy.
Yeah, it was the same dark art. What do you mean by dark?
Because we block goalkeepers and corners? Jump higher!
Newsflash, people. All the titles Mourinho won
was with
the dark arts.
Yeah,
okay?
Because I'm like, dude,
we played what we had to play.
Yeah. Other teams, when City plays a Stoke or something, they're going to do the same thing.
Of course.
And they won't do it. They won't get away with it.
Of course.
If City plays Man U, they can do this. They won't get away with it. This is, in fact, fun fact for you. City hasn't beaten us in 4 games.
4 games.
So who is panicked here? If you're a City and you're Arsenal, who's more worried?
Also, I'll tell you why I was so pained that we don't win that game. We probably just missed our last chance to beat a Pep Guardiola team at home.
Possibly. Yeah.
Because he might leave.
Yeah, he might leave.
This might be his last season. He might retire. In fact, I hope he doesn't because I still want to beat him. But I think the only team that's gone 4 games undefeated against City is probably Spurs.
Oh yeah, because there was a time that Spurs was really hanging with them.
But look at it. We've shown City that we're no longer a pushover.
Yes, and all the theatrics from Haaland. Listen, Haaland up until 7 a.m. Pacific time on Sunday, I was a fan of you. I was okay with you. But now
Haaland has made an enemy here.
Haaland, you know what? I wish you the worst of soccer. No injuries even. Just because this guy, and I like to
are you casting a spell on
it's a spell. It's a spell. Like, dude, because one thing, I don't mind, like, trash talk. Don't mind it at all, right? Trash talk when you've earned the right to trash talk.
Well, he has earned it.
What right does he earn to trash talk? To Mikel. Not even say to Gabriel. I don't care if it's Gabriel. I don't care what you say to him. First off, you throw the ball on his head. And Gabriel didn't even react to that, but you threw the ball on his head. And then you can say what you want to Gabriel, on Jesus, say whatever you want to those guys. I really don't care. But to open your mouth and tell Mikel Arteta to be humble when you guys just got lucky? Who? You should be humble because you almost lost to a 10-man team in your house. You be humble. You scored a goal in the game. Fantastic. You had the lowest touches of the ball in the game, period, of any player. 20 touches in the whole game.
That's normal with Haaland.
Dude, in a game where you have 10 men? No. I'm sorry.
No,
in a game where you have 82% possession?
Haaland always gets the least touches among
the
his
least on his team.
On his team.
Least on the field, Jerry.
Yeah. No, Saliba and Gabriel, they did a good job. But this is my
thing is, I remember this very clearly, and back to you, Roy Keane. I remember you calling him a League Two player one time because you said he only scores goals, he can't do anything else, right? And maybe it's a little bit harsh, but really and truly, in a game where you had 82% possession.
So he's a League One player, not a League Two?
There you go. League One. Because, yes, best goal scorer we've ever seen. But, dude, you cannot impact the game in any other way other than scoring goals. And you're telling my man to be humble? Humble about what? You couldn't do anything your whole career until you joined City. You joined City, and then you've won some leagues now, and now you're a big man. I remember when you were at Dortmund, and you were the one
who's won 2 leagues.
Yeah, 2, whatever.
In a record-breaking fashion.
Hey, whatever. You're on the best team in the world. I'm sorry. I don't feel sorry for you for winning the league.
Mbappe,
on the City team.
Mbappe just went to the best team in the world. Let's say the second best team in the world.
And he may not win the league.
He's not scoring the buckets of goals.
He doesn't need to, but they may not even win.
But my
point on form.
My point is, this is my point. This is my point.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start with this. I don't condone a player, disrespecting the manager of even of his team.
Mm-hmm.
Not to talk of a different team or a rival team. That aside, now I'm going to talk like a sportsman that I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Haaland probably has an idea of Arteta's soccer career,
mm-hmm.
right? Arteta did not win. I think a few FA Cups here and there.
Maybe, I don't even know.
He won FA Cup with Arsenal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He never really played for his national team.
Never did. Mm-hmm.
Now I'm not justifying what Haaland did. I'm just telling you the mindset of elite athletes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Haaland comes to the Premier League. His first season scored like 50 goals?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Some like crazy number of goals.
Yeah. Breaks the record.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Premier League is touted to be the toughest league.
Not the toughest. It's the toughest league because of the competition.
Exactly.
But it's not the strongest league in terms of defending.
Yeah.
No.
But
Italy still is.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the toughest league.
Right.
Competitiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He comes in there his first season, breaks the record, the goal scoring record.
Of course.
Wins the league.
Mm-hmm.
Wins the Champions League.
Yep.
Wins what? They won everything.
Sure.
The next season, he doesn't, perform to the level of the previous season,
mm-hmm.
but still finishes as top scorer with the Golden Boot and
mm-hmm.
still wins the league.
Mm-hmm.
Loses the Champions League in the final, right?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Wins FA Cup and so this is just me playing devil's advocate.
Okay.
Arsenal, we've not won the league. This is our 21st year now.
Mm-hmm.
21st season. So over 20 seasons. How old is Haaland?
24 maybe.
So
I don't know.
Arsenal, the last time Arsenal won the league, Haaland was 4 years old.
I get it.
Now, Haaland has won twice.
Mm-hmm.
And the club he's playing for, the team he's playing for, this particular generation of team, they've won it, like 7 out of the last 10?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know for sure. 5 out of 4 in a row.
So you see the picture I'm painting, right? Now, Arsenal has not won it in over 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
We're knocking on the door, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But we are not Man City yet.
Of course not.
So that's what Haaland is trying to tell us.
No.
He's trying to tell us, hey guys, you are not us yet, stay humble.
No. But who is favored in that game?
Huh?
Who's favored?
I'm not talking of that game. I'm talking of the whole context.
The whole everything, right?
Yeah.
But the whole idea of telling someone to be humble is if you're braggadocious.
Of course you will be braggadocious.
No. Why not? If you're braggadocious, is the only time someone can tell you, be humble. Arsenal wasn't braggadocious. Well, what are we being humble about?
Well, I'm not going to say we were braggadocious.
We were not.
But
we didn't brag. We didn't do anything crazy.
If you're trying to kick me off my throne, I'm not going to be nice to you.
Say something else then.
No, I'll say anything I want to say because I've earned that right. You know,
to me.
So to me, Haaland, was wrong saying that to our manager. You know, I'm not justifying him saying that, but he wasn't wrong saying that. It was the person he was saying it to. He wasn't wrong. We've not, and guess what? There's a big possibility we can still go this season and not win the league.
Of course. So what?
So what I'm trying to say is we have to really stay humble.
I don't understand what are we humble? We're not. Arsenal is not favored to win the league.
Let's go about
hold on. We're not favored to win the league. We're not the favorites. We're not going around saying we're going to win the league. Maybe some fans do, but we're not going to win the league. It's our goal, but we're not throwing around saying anything, right?
But the way we're playing, here's the says we want to win the league.
Okay, no. Here's how I'm going to win this disagreement right here, right? Had an Arsenal player said in that same game said those words to Haaland, would it sound weird?
Of course it will sound weird.
Why? Because we'll say, listen, be humble, dude. We're coming for you.
No.
Come on.
But you can't tell me to be humble. I've won the league multiple times. Some players go their entire career and not win the league. I've already won it twice.
So I remember back in the day.
If I'm Haaland, that's what I'll be thinking.
Back in the day.
Now, do you think our invincible, do you think Patrick Vieira wasn't telling Roy Keane and the rest of them to stay humble? Because those guys were not shit talking them.
But hold on,
they were shit talking them.
And that's my point. Yeah. Right? Here's my point. And this is what I have to do early.
I love the rivalry.
Oh, I love the rivalry. I love the pushing. I love the fires, all of it.
Yeah, I like
that comment.
I like the comment.
This thing, right?
If that comment is going to be the reason why we win the league,
of course.
Fantastic. Thank you, Alan.
This thing, right? So early in my Arsenal love career, right? When we were under Wenger and we were top 4 merchants, right?
Top 4 merchants.
Yeah, that's what we were, right? I remember arguing with my entire family, all Man U fans. Every time they'll be like, oh, we didn't win the league, though. I'm like, yeah. Even when we win the league, right? I used to always say, like, listen, man, when it comes to the Premier League, between the top 4, let's call it, I know it's top 6 now, right? But top 4, those big 4, big 6, whatever, right? You don't win and lose the leagues when you play those guys.
No, you don't.
Right? So I used to always tell my brothers, like, listen, forget that Man U beat Arsenal this day or Chelsea beat it. I'm like, that's not how you win the league. It's those cold nights at Stoke, right? So I used to always say, listen, man.
Brutal.
Right. I used to always say, the only way you judge my Arsenal, judge me on how when you and I play each other, right? The fact that I finished 4 and you finished 3rd or 2nd, I don't really care because that game that we played is a rivalry. It's about who won or bettered that game, not who won the league off that game. You know, this game is so early that it's not really a league decider. Look at the game as a microcosm of what it is. It's a game between 2 good teams. One team got lucky, and it wasn't Arsenal.
That's true.
So you sit up there, and literally what I expect you to do, maybe he might do this, and I bet you how long you did this when you went home. Whew. Oh, yeah. You go, because you can say what was outside.
I'm an Arsenal fan.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm just City go there and they take a deep, they breathe because they should have lost that game. I could have lost that game. Didn't beat up Arsenal by any capacity.
Yes.
And couldn't score. Could barely score a goal for 45 minutes against 10 men in your own house with your almighty Haaland. Man, get out of here with that.
I get all that.
Get out. I don't care.
Where I'm coming from is as an Arsenal fan
on the higher supreme level of being an athlete.
I've been hurt too much, too many times, and all you Arsenal fans, you can attest to that. We've had too many heartbreaks,
of course,
right? So right now, where I am as an Arsenal fan is I want to see that trophy being lifted first.
Of course.
Then we can start all the smack talk.
So here's where it's going to start. This is my commitment. That's where I'm coming from. My commitment to you is if we win the league this year, I am getting a T-shirt made that says Haaland, be humble. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's be really humble. That's really good. That is it. That's going to be the top selling T-shirt in the world when I make it, because Haaland, you said it. And if for some reason you guys don't win the league, if for some reason Haaland, you go out of form, if for some reason you get a small injury or a little whatever, anything happens, I'm always there to tell you, man, be humble. You be humble. Because you were never going to win a World Cup, if I can see it. Oh, right. Don't do that to Odegaard. That doesn't matter. No. Odegaard doesn't need it. Don't do that to Odegaard. They can't, he knows. And he's humble about it. Don't do that to Odegaard, please. You could do, and because if you're never going to win the World Cup or any Euros, you will never win Ballon d'Or. Fine. Oh, all right. Well, that's brutal. So tomorrow's game, Bolton. Looking forward to from rotation. Yeah, well, we need it. We need the rotation, but I want Nature. I want to see one every start. Going to play. Raya has to play because Nature is cup tied. Already? Yeah, he's cup tied for that. Yeah. Here, did what's the team he came from? Brighton? No, Brighton. Wolves? No, the other team with a B. Bournemouth. Did they already play in the FA Cup? I don't know they played in the FA Cup already this season. Yeah, I think they did. Oh, well, either way. But he's not cup tied for the... Is it FA Cup we're playing tomorrow or Carabao? It doesn't matter. It's Carabao. But I think this is the first round, or the first round was maybe last week or so. Yeah, well, he's cup tied. He's not playing. Well, okay, so he's going to be Raya. I want to see Wannery start. I want to see Wannery. I would like to, I think normally I'll say rest Saka, but he only played 45 minutes, so let him play this game. Well, I want to see Sterling play. Sterling should start. Yeah, I agree. Play. I want to see Calafiori play again. Absolutely. For sure. Well, but he left with an injury, so he left with a cramp. Okay. He's fine. All right. And I would like to see why do we want to play? Well, he needs to get up and play, I would, maybe White should play, Timber should rest. He played the whole 90 minutes pretty much, right? I want to see Gabriel Jesus play instead who played left wing for Man City? Who played left wing for Man City? Doku. Against Timber? Dude, Timber had a great game. Because Doku was missing. I'm telling you that Man City were the lucky ones in that game. Timbolo, they were lucky. To me, I don't care what anybody says. Of course they were lucky. They were lucky because I'm of the opinion, and it's my orientation. You've known me for over 30 years. Almost 30 years. Get it done. Oh, get it done. I agree. Get it done. We should have won that game. I think, we should have won the game. If we won that game, Haaland would not tell Arteta to be humble. Of course not. Exactly. Because to them, that draw was a win for them. Which is something that we always get accused of all the time. Yeah, you celebrate a draw like you won. Yeah, the hypocrites now will be like, well, why are you guys celebrating? It's just, but now they're not going to say that to City. Yep. City basically celebrated, time in their house. In their house. Against 10 men. They played the whole second half against 10 men. Yep. And it took them an auxiliary defensive striker an extra minute at a time for them to tie that game. Yeah. They never look like scoring. Shame on you, Steve. And by the way, Arsenal, one last shout out before we go, guys. This is a long one, I think, today. But one last shout out. And I meant to do it in between the last couple games, but man, oh man, Raya is on fire. Oh, Raya's on fire. Raya on quite fire. Easily, to me, at this moment, there's only one keeper I think is better than Raya in Premier League. Allison. Raya on fire. For sure in City's keeper. No, Edison is basket now. Oh gosh, he was being now, And I have him in my fantasy. Oh, it's a terrible. I'm going to switch him. Yeah, Raya is showing. He literally almost saved that Stones goal. Yeah, Raya. I'm sorry. Whatever I said about you in the past, you're short. I know you're shorter than normal, but dude. Oh, I have a new name for him. What? Elastic Man. Elastic, dude. Whatever you're doing, man. Elastic Man. Keep doing it. That's the new mantra. Raya on fire. Love it.
Well, my shout out is going to Partey, because Partey played 2 games in the international break, full 90 minutes, comes and is playing back to back now, 3 games.
Yeah.
You know, and he's looking solid.
He's looking solid, but I'm sorry to say.
What?
Well,
shout out to Partey. Don't spoil his shout out.
When Merino comes back, it's going to be a real problem.
Well, Merino has to win his place.
I think
he has to win his position.
So
there's no automatic.
This is Arsenal on your mind extra, if you will, right?
There's no automatic.
We're going to cut this out probably.
No, we're not cutting anything out. There's no automatic spot on our team.
I get it, but the way
let me go my Nigerian accent.
Seeing that Odegaard's injury is now longer term than we thought.
Yeah.
Right? I see that for us to have the creativity we want in midfield, our most creative midfielder, without I haven't seen him play, is going to be Merino. Which would mean, because and Rice ain't going to be on the bench. No. So Partey will have to ride the bench until Odegaard gets back fit. It's my prediction.
Well, we'll see. Well, Merino has to win his spot. But on that note,
you know what's on our mind.
Keep Arsenal on your mind.
Keep Arsenal on your mind.
Share this video. Comments. Thank you for your likes.
Subscribe.
Thank you for your views.
Absolutely.
Subscribe. We'll see you mañana. See you soon.
See you mañana. I'm going to put this definitely on an Arsenal on your mind extras. Going to put it as a short.
Under floodlights, the fans align. In red and white, they always shine. With every pass, it feels divine. Arsenal's on my mind. From hybrid days to Emirates grand, each match a symphony perfectly planned. With every goal we take our stand, Arsenal's on my mind. Oh Arsenal, you never fail. Through rain and sun, our steadfast sail.